Alright, next I will be discussing multicultural literacy, and my opinions on it, how you can incorporate it into the classroom, and any concerns I have. So multicultural literacy is basically the ability of an individual to critically analyze and think about the varying differences between cultures. So as a teacher, we must incorporate cultural experiences into our lessons and be a voice for advocacy for equality in the classroom, as sometimes these students don't have the confidence yet to bring up these issues, specifically social justice. It is also known that few teachers have the necessary tools to discuss these difficult topics, such as discrimination and oppression, where we often believe that if we respect every child in the walls of our classroom, all is well. But that's not the case. We as educators must provide our students with the critical skills and knowledge that is needed to question and explore diversity in an educational framework. Well, since we live in a rapidly changing world where some ethnic groups have benefits over others, we must help our students question why that is. We can't ignore it. We must come to terms with it and explain to them why our world is the way it is. This is extremely crucial in the 21st century, as a high percentage of U.S. schools. I know we're in Canada, but based on my research, this is just a percentage that kind of overwhelmed me a bit. But basically, a lot of U.S. schools have very little knowledge about those in the Eastern countries. Is this problematic? Of course it is. So, we as educators are constantly preaching equality and equity in the classroom, yet we only are seeing progress in certain areas of the world. This is why we must come together as a cohesive group and come to terms with talking about these difficult issues, because it can be hard in the world we live in. Children also need to receive constant messages from different sources, and what I mean by that are the teachers, parents, their friends, to show that we're all on the same page and we all are committed to coming to terms with social justice and equity. This can ultimately be shown through the Literacy in Action that I also posted the link before. There's 2 links, I believe. It's basically an activity that can be done in the schools where students are responsible for exploring cultural and racial diversity through the use of a picture book. It's very 21st century. A lot of the schools are doing it nowadays because it gets them to critically think and question why these issues are so relevant in today's society. The children are highly encouraged to use their critical thinking and literacy skills to discuss the events occurring in the book. While reading the book, children should reflect on current and past events, whether they are personal or not, and keep a list of jot notes for the discussion later, as that's a major part of this lesson, because as a teacher, we want to stimulate questions and get our students to critically think about why these issues are relevant. So once the book has been read, the teacher would run a facilitation where all students are again encouraged to participate in the discussion to figure out the solutions to the social justice issues raised in the book. The second link, I gave a list of, I believe, 4 or 3 books that have a variety of different issues that would stimulate a good question period and facilitation that is basically open-ended, which is what we want. I do have a few concerns, though, with this specific Literacy in Action, just because it is a very sensitive topic, and it's important to analyze every aspect of the lesson and how you can improve it to make it better, obviously. So the concern I have is the teacher who's running the facilitation may have a lack of understanding of the particular issues that are outlined in the given book. When there's a lack of knowledge, we often see a lack of integration from the curriculum expectations. So that's something that I'll leave with you, and if you have any thoughts or opinions, please leave them in the comment below and we can go from there.